He would go out at sunrise, chanting, dancing to his name. Haribo, Haribo. He would wake up everyone, rise and rejoice to the name. Haribo, Haribo. Mukunda Madhava, Govinda Hari, Haribo, Haribo. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he has come to taste and give away the sweetness of his brain. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all you have to do is take to the sweet chanting of his name. Haribo, Haribo. Every day the sun will rise, and every day the sun will set. Haribo, Haribo. What's the value of your life if devotion you don't get? Haribo, Haribo. Take the name into your heart, take it with you when you part. Haribo, Haribo. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he has come to taste and give away the sweetness of his brain. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu,
Haribol.
Rama Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all you have to do is take to the sweet chanting of his name.
Hey, welcome everybody. We have a guest star here today, Shamagori. All right.
OGEbeats.com.
Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Jesus Prabhupada, 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 Jesus, Jesus Prabhupada, Jesus. Sri Advaita Nityananda Gauranga Gauranga, Sri Advaita Nityananda Gauranga Gauranga, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Chaitanya, Sri Krishna 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 Chaitanya, Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Krishna.
OGEbeats.com.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
all see the beat die.
Hare Krishna, Gauranga. Oh, yeah. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda Nityananda, Shri
It's LC the beat guy.
Purchase your tracks today.
Gauranga Nityananda, Shri Krishna. Gauranga, Gauranga, Nityananda, 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 Gauranga, Gauranga, Nityananda, 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 Nityananda,
Purchase your tracks today.
Nityananda, 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 Gauranga, 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 Gaurachanda, Gauranga, Gauranga, Gaurachanda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Purchase your tracks today.
Shri Krishna Shri Krishna Oh, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri
Purchase your
Krishna
tracks today.
Chaitanya, Shri Krishna 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 Chaitanya, Chaitanya, Shri
Purchase your
Krishna
tracks today.
Chaitanya, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Okay, turn your mics on. Let's do some jumping.
Party people, can you get funky?
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama,
Krishna, Krishna,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Rama Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Rama Rama,
Rama
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna,
Krishna,
Hari
Krishna,
Hari, Hari Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare, Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Rama,
Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare
Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna, Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Rama, Rama, Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Krishna, Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Rama, Rama,
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Krishna, Krishna, Hare
Rama
Hare,
Rama,
Rama,
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna, Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, 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 Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Rama, Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare Hare, Krishna,
Rama, Rama, Hare Hare,
Krishna, Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama, Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Rama, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare,
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama, Hare Hare,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
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 Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama, Rama, Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
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 Krishna, Krishna, Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Rama, Rama, Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Rama,
Krishna,
Hare Rama,
Krishna, Hare
Rama
Hare,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare Rama,
Krishna, Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna,
Chaitanya,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare Rama,
Chaitanya,
Rama Rama, Hare
Shri
Hare,
Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna
Shri
Chaitanya,
Krishna,
Shri Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Chaitanya,
Hare
Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Krishna,
Shri
Shri
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Chaitanya, Shri Krishna
Hare Rama,
Chaitanya, Shri Krishna
Shri Krishna,
Chaitanya,
Chaitanya,
Shri Chaitanya.
Shri Krishna, Chaitanya,
Prabhu,
Prabhu Nityananda,
Shri Krishna
Shri
Chaitanya,
Ajay
Shri Krishna
Jagatadara,
Shri Krishna, Shri
Krishna,
Krishna,
Adi Gaura
Shri
Bhakta
Krishna, Shri Krishna,
Jaya Shri Krishna, Shri Jaya,
Shri Krishna
Prabhu
Chaitanya,
Nityananda, Shri Ajay Jagatadara,
Prabhu
Shri
Nityananda,
Krishna
Shri
Chaitanya, Shri
Radha,
Hare
Krishna
Shri Gaura
Chaitanya,
Bhakta
Jai
Jaya
Shri
Shri
Krishna
Krishna, Shri
Chaitanya,
Jaya,
Shri Krishna
Prabhu
Chaitanya,
Nityananda,
Shri Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Shri
Chaitanya,
Ajay Jagatadara,
Hare Krishna,
Adi Gaura Bhakta
Shri Krishna
Prabhu
Chaitanya, Shri
Nityananda,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Chaitanya,
Hare
Shri
Rama Hare
Krishna
Rama
Chaitanya,
Krishna, Hare
Shri
Rama Rama
Krishna
Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Chaitanya,
Rama,
Shri
Hare Rama,
Krishna Chaitanya,
Rama
Shri
Rama, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Chaitanya,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Hare
Shri
Rama Hare
Krishna
Rama
Chaitanya, Hare
Rama Rama Hare Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Rama, Hare
Krishna
Rama, Rama,
Hare
Rama,
Rama Hare
Hare
Rama
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama,
Rama Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama
Hare,
Rama Rama
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Rama, Hare
Krishna Hare
Rama,
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna Hare
Rama,
Hare Hare
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Rama
Krishna, Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Rama, Rama,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare Rama Hare
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna,
Rama
Hare Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Rama, 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 Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
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 Hare Rama
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Hare, Rama, Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama Hare Hare
Rama,
Krishna
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare
Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Rama Hari Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama Rama
Rama
Krishna
Rama Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Hari
Krishna
Rama Hari Rama
Krishna Hare
Rama
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 Hare
Hari Hari
Rama
Hari Krishna
Rama
Hare
Rama
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hari
Krishna
Hari Hari
Hare
Rama Hari Rama
Krishna
Rama
Krishna
Rama Hari
Hare
Hari
Hare
Krishna Hare
Rama Hare
Krishna
Rama Rama Rama
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hari
Rama
Hari Hari Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari Hari Hari
Krishna Hare
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare Rama Hare Rama
Krishna
Rama
Krishna
Rama
Hari
Hare
Hari Hari
Hare
Rama
Hare
Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hari
Rama
Krishna
Hare Rama
Hari Rama Hari
Rama
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 Hari
Hare
Hari
Hare
Krishna
Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare Krishna
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 Hare
Hari
Hare
Hari
Hare
Rama Hari
Rama
Rama
Hare Rama
Rama Rama Hari Hari Hari
Rama
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Hare Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hari Hari
Krishna
Hari
Hare
Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna
Rama
Krishna
Rama Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hari Hari
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Hari
Krishna
Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna
Rama
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hari Rama Rama
Krishna
Rama Hari
Krishna
Hari Hari Krishna
Hare
Hare
Rama
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Rama
Krishna Hari Hari
Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hari
Hare
Rama Hari Rama
Krishna
Rama Rama
Krishna
Hari Hari Hari
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna Krishna Hari Hari
Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hari Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hari Hari Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama
Krishna
Rama
Krishna
Rama
Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama
Krishna Krishna Hari Hari
Hare
Hari
Krishna
Rama Hari
Hare
Rama
Krishna
Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Rama Rama
Krishna Hari
Rama
Hari
Hare Hare
Hari
Hare
Rama
Krishna
Rama
Hare
Hari 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 Krishna Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare
Hari
Rama
Hari
Rama Rama
Rama
Rama
Rama
Hare
Hari Hari
Hare
Hari Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare
Rama
Krishna
Rama
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hari Hari
Hare
Hari
Krishna
Rama Hari
Hare
Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hari Hari
Rama
Hari
Hare
Rama Hari Rama
Hare
Rama
Krishna
Rama
Hare
Hari 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 Krishna Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna Hari
Rama
Hari
Hare
Hari Rama Hari Rama Rama
Hare
Rama Hari
Hare
Hari Hari Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hari Hari
Hare
Hari
Rama
Rama Hari
Hare
Rama
Rama
Rama Rama
Rama
Hari Hari Hari
Hare
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare
Krishna
Rama
Krishna Hari Hari Hari
Rama
Rama Hari Rama
Hare
Rama
Hare
Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna
Rama
Krishna
Hare Rama Rama
Rama
Rama
Rama Hari
Hare
Hari
Hare
Hari Krishna Hare
Krishna
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 Hari Hari
Krishna
Hari
Krishna
Rama Hari Rama
Hare Hare
Rama
Rama
Rama Hari
Rama
Hari Krishna
Rama Rama Hare Hare Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari
Krishna
Rama
Krishna Hare Hare Rama
Hari
Hare
Hari
Rama
Krishna Hare
Rama
Krishna
Rama Hare
Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Krishna Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama
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 Rama Hare Hare Krishna Hare
Rama Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hare 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 Rama
Krishna Krishna
Rama
Hare
Rama Hare
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 Rama
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Rama
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama
Hare
Rama Hare
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Rama
Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Rama
Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Hare
Rama
Krishna
Rama
Hare
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare Rama Hare
Rama
Rama
Rama Hare Hare
Rama
Hare
Rama
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare Rama
Rama Rama Hare
Rama
Hare
Rama
Hare
Hare
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare
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 Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama Hare
Krishna,
Rama 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 Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Rama,
Rama Hare Rama Rama
Rama
Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama
Krishna
Rama
Krishna,
Rama Hare Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama
Krishna
Rama
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Hare Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama
Krishna
Rama Hare
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Hare
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 Rama,
Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hare 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 Rama
Krishna
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Rama
Krishna
Rama
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare Krishna
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 Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Hare Hare Rama Hare
Rama
Rama
Rama Hare
Rama
Hare Krishna
Rama
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Rama
Hare
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 Rama
Hare
Rama
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 Hare
Hare
Rama
Hare Krishna
Rama
Hare
Rama
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
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 Hare Rama Rama
Krishna Krishna
Rama
Hare
Rama
Hare
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 Rama
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Rama
Krishna
Rama
Hare
Rama
Krishna
Hare 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 Krishna Hare
Rama
Krishna
Hare
Rama
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Rama
Hare
Rama
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Hare
Rama
Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Sri Advaita Chandra Jaya Gora Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda
Jaya
Jaya Sri Krishna
Sri
Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Sri Advaita Chandra Jaya Gora Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Jaya Sri
Jaya
Chaitanya
Krishna,
Jaya Nityananda
Nanda,
Jaya
Jaya
Sri
Krishna,
Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Chapter 4 of Adi Lila Chaitanya Charitamrita Chapter 4 of Adi Lila The confidential reasons for the appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. See, we must learn about these confidential reasons. Otherwise, how can we understand, the importance of Lord Chaitanya? Bhagavad Gita says if we understand the reason for the Lord's appearance in this world, then we don't come back to this material world anymore. Yeah? It's that deep. It's that important. It's that sublime. It's that amazing, and it's just, I'm just amazed, how it's just so simple. It's just to taste the nectar of the holy name, just like Lord Chaitanya did. Yeah. That verse makes so much sense, when Jesus said, "What I have done, all men must do." So the Lord shows the example. That's why he came as a devotee. If we weren't supposed to do that, then why would he come? Why would this book be preached? The confidential reason for the appearance of the Lord is simply to taste the nectar of the holy name, and there's symptoms of that happiness, and that's what people see here. That's the essence of the Krishna conscious movement. Anybody not preaching that is not preaching the confidential truth. Okay? Therefore, nobody gets that result. Therefore, you come back again. The Lord came here to deliver the people so easily. One of the glories of Hare Krishna mantra is that it's cherished by liberated souls, by great transcendentalists. Who could be like that? Who could be a great liberated soul? Who could be a great transcendentalist, in this Kali Yuga, unless we get the mercy of an incarnation like Lord Caitanya and Nityananda and their real followers? That's why we must preach this now. Otherwise there's no deliverance here. You don't understand the confidential reasons. Don't tell me you understand Bhagavad Gita if you don't understand why that Lord in this latest incarnation came here. And, like people say, oh, there's so many pure devotees out there. Why are you the only one? I don't know. I seem to be the only one preaching the mercy of Lord Caitanya and delivering it. You guys, look at you guys chanting in ecstasy like liberated souls, and nobody's doing that. That's why, we're, in a sense, we've won, because this is truth, man. The Lord brought that truth, demonstrated that truth, and we're demonstrating that truth again. It was more powerful than anything. It was only when those kind of devotees began to leave that Kali started to come in. Okay? A lot of people, even my ex-wife says, Gohar, I'm not going to come back until you're humble. You think, this is the problem. The Goswamis were very meek and humble, and they were shy, and therefore it disappeared. Okay? It gradually disappeared. And then you notice the more extrovert, the more warrior types like Bhakti Vinod and Bhakti Siddhanta and Prabhupada brought it back. They came in with choppers and spades. Still, we need a few choppers and spades. So don't give me anything about it. Look at what has actually transpired here because of being a little bit rambunctious, a little bit wild on all fronts. A little bit audacious and bold. Okay? Otherwise, with these, you see what these people have, the feigned humility, or it's actually repression. Ooh, they're afraid to even express anything because of offenses that they're taught by these people who are illusionists. They ain't no examples of real devotees. These things need to be cut down, these weeds. The poor devotees are all repressed. Oh, don't be offensive. Don't express yourself, Prabhu. Don't think. Just accept. Just comply with our religious bullshit. You know, yeah, you think a devotee, like some of these poor people coming, I think, my God, who are you listening to? My Gurudev is so great. And I say, well, God, what is this? Why aren't you a recipient or a result of that greatness? What I see is a repressed, depressed person, unintelligent, less intelligent person. You know, who hates the real God. The real God is this ecstatic personality. And he's on the mirror. He's mirrored in his real devotees. The Lord is like a great king or a prince, whatever mood you want to catch him in. And his devotees are like that, great princes and kings. With the scepter of power, you could see this person is used by God. It's like Nicodemus when he heard from from Jesus, and he goes back to his speculators, his peers over there, and the Pharisee types, the Brahmin types, the sannyasi types. They think they know all about the truth, and they're the ones who bring God to people, and what their God is not the real God. Did he say any new? Did he give any new speculations like we do? Oh, no, he didn't say anything new, Nicodemus said. See, he was the only honest person there. No, nothing particularly new. But when he spoke, man, nobody spoke like this person. This is right there in the Bible. You notice people say that here? Because that's called empowerment, man. Nobody speaks like somebody empowered by the real God. And you can tell it's not false ego, man. It's the real ego. It's the Lord. Okay? That you get all that by tasting the nectar of the name like Lord Caitanya did. You want to be like that? You want to be a wimp? Go follow these gurus. I'm sorry if I express myself. I don't want to be offensive. You follow those guys, you'll be a wimp. You come here and you'll become a real devotee with real devotional feelings, and you become strong in mind and body and spirit. That's what we're here to do, give real shelter here. And, cut down these jungle growths. Remember, Madhavendra Puri, said, hey, you want to come and help? Let's go bring choppers and spades. The deity is covered up with all this bullshit. It's time to put some cow shit on there, purify the situation. See, this is cow. See, this is people say, yeah, but it's cow. Don't say this isn't bullshit. This is cow shit, man. It's pure. The Vedas say it's pure. You need this kind of fertilizer. And you need this kind of urine, even though I pee on all the sacrifices that are not pleasing to the Lord. It's like cow urine. Like Shiva, right? Shiva peed on all the sacrifices of the Brahmins. You know why? Because people weren't worshiping the pure form of the Lord, who Shiva knew. He said, your sacrifices to the Lord are not pleasing, man, because it's really true. That's why we still worship Jesus. Jesus said the Lord only recognizes his true son, right? And the son you notice, do I preach anything other than the true Lord, who is Satchidananda? He doesn't preach anything but that. He uses a mouthpiece to preach about the truth that he knows, the super soul in the people's hearts know. Okay? But they're covered over with the jungle growth. So somebody with choppers and spades comes around and chops away. Did you see Edward Scissorhands? You ever see that movie, Edward's? Amy probably saw it. Johnny Depp. He went and did he tidy up the neighborhood? Man, everything was just call Edward Scissorhands. Yeah, you got to clean stuff. You got to clean up the neighborhood, man. Bhakti-Fondo said it was a duty to clean up the space, man. You know, gets untidy. Yeah. Just like I order, you got to get an expert to do it. You know, it always takes an expert. You know, just like I hired every 2 weeks. I got one coming in Monday. This lady, she's an expert cleaner, man. Nobody cleans like this lady except Janaki. Janaki knows. Even Janaki, I think, was impressed with this Patty lady, man. When she cleans, man, wow. Man, it is like you can't even see a speck of dirt in the whole place. That's what we do spiritually. You know, we don't want to see any dirt, nothing. You know, just clean up the space. So there's Satchidananda, make way for the real Lord, right? Isn't that what we do? Isn't that's why John the Baptist was a bit heavy? You know, yeah, man, make way, make a clear way for the Lord to come. What is that Lord? Satchidananda. See, we just got to get people understanding what is the mercy of Lord Caitanya. You know, the mercy of Lord Caitanya is this chapter 4, the confidential reason for Lord Caitanya coming was to taste the nectar in these names, you know, and then you realize so many things. You realize who you are, who the Lord is. You're empowered with that dunamis power of God. Yeah. And then you understand how the Lord works and how you're here to help him, assist in his pastimes. That's why service to the Vaishnava, I couldn't believe my ex-wife gave up service to a real Vaishnava, empowered by the transcendental Lord to go worship the deities all day and night and do nothing practically. Just worshiping the deities over there in Radhakund, and her hands were just messed up like you wouldn't believe, man. We'll talk about a message from God. Why would he mess up you're just trying, hey man, don't you see? It still didn't see. And went on doing it, got the gloves, you know. Serving a Vaishnava doing this kind of work is the greatest honor. We're doing what I haven't seen anybody do. This is the finishing work of Prabhupada. That's why he was so happy when he came in that lucid dream. He's so blissed out, man. Yeah, this is where I was going with this, man. This is where I wanted it to go, man. You know, just having classes like this and discussing the absolute truth and chanting in ecstasy. Oh, yeah. Do more of that, man. That's exactly, you know, chop a little bit. You know, we got to, you know, kind of trim some of the trees, you know, some of these dead branches off the trees, right? What do? You notice the real growth can come, but there's too many dead branches. Hey man, this is a pruning thing. This is a law. If you don't prune a dead tree, there's some life. We're the life of that tree, man. This is the true vine, man, true branch on the Chaitanya tree. And people are going to get to know it, man. But you got to get right in there with the scissors and the pruners, you know, and trim some of these dead branches off, because people sit there, they take shelter of a dead branch and they go, I don't want to commit any offenses. I can't express my mind because I'm so friggin' repressed because I've been taught wrong about devotional service. Yeah. So, all glories to Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu, all glories to Nityananda, and all glories to Advaita. I'm going to skip a little bit.
Which verse?
Yeah, I'm skipping, so just I'll say it as I go. Text 5. I've given the essential meaning of the 4th verse. This incarnation, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu descends to propagate the chanting of the holy name and spread love of God. Although this is true, this is but the external reasons of the Lord's incarnation. I've given descends to propagate the chanting of the holy name and spread love of God. This is true. This is the external reason of the Lord's incarnation. Please hear the real confidential reason for the Lord's appearance. So he gradually unfolds the real reason which comes to this. He came to taste the nectar in the holy name, like his greatest devotee did, Radharani. Radharani was in Vrindavan and tasting the nectar of chanting Krishna's name, looking at his beautiful picture. And she had extraordinary happiness and understanding about the absolute truth, which he was. And he thought, my God, she's happier than I am. She knows more than I am. I do. She knows more. She tastes the nectar of who I am and what I am, more so than I am. And unless I experience his happiness, that's what Rukmini and Chaitanya Mangal said that to Krishna. Unless you come in the mood of Radharani, you won't know why I cry just looking at you. Why I cry chanting your name or thinking about you. Okay? That's why even my disciples get a better position. It's like, being guru is like being Krishna in a sense, little Krishna. I look at my disciples who have real faith in what's being going on here, and I see the happiness they feel in their faith in this path and their guru and all that. I think, my God, what a better position that is. These guys, they think the best position is to be a big guru or something. Best position is to be a disciple of a real guru. That's why Lord Caitanya came, to be in the mood of a devotee of Krishna. Devotee of the devotees of Krishna. Look, he took the position of a devotee of his devotee to taste that nectar. People have no idea of the mentality of Lord Caitanya. Okay? You have to get it by experience. You have to be in positions, like this. Yeah, see, so he came to taste the nectar in the name. And then automatically it spread like here. See, people coming. See, people are coming one by one saying, why? What are these guys experiencing? If you think it's a good thing, it's better than good. If you want this extraordinary happiness that the devotees are getting here, you have to follow in their footsteps. Otherwise, you don't get it. Well, you want this, or you want to be a big guru, or you want to follow the big gurus. You want to promote the big gurus who have big followings, but they don't have this, do they? Not even one have I seen have this. Not Radhanath didn't seem to taste the holy name like this and spread it and get his disciples laughing and crying and all that. That's what Lord Caitanya did. That's what Nityananda did. That's what we do. How come nobody's coming here but like 18 people? That shows you what kind of work we need to do here. There's plenty of room for pruning of the dead branches. This is life. This is the life branches of the Chaitanya free, isn't it? This is the life. This is the life of Lord Caitanya. We got it and we give it. If you're not doing that, hey, everybody should come here because we're doing it. People become great souls and are able to taste the nectar and the holy names that only liberated souls and great transcendentalists can do. And who are we? We're nothing special and don't have to promote ourselves as anything special. Only thing we promote is the mercy of Lord Caitanya, which are in these books. Already waiting to be served out. Serve out the mercy of Lord Caitanya. That's the food, so that people can eat. They look pretty skinny to me, don't they look pretty skinny? So, Lalita, read text 7.
Okay. Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Jaya, Jaya.
Oh, glories to you. Jaya, Jaya, Sri
See how
Krishna.
much you get more happiness she gets.
I was just wondering, when I met you, you were so ecstatic. Is this with you increasing every day like it is with me? Because
Yeah.
when I met it, where will that stop, man?
The what?
Where will that stop?
It doesn't stop.
No.
That's the nature of bhakti. That means we're in the right place, on the right, we're getting fed. See, it like chapter 12 of Adi Lila says, those who are the real followers of Lord Caitanya, they kept getting fed the mercy. So they kept growing and growing and growing. And the false followers didn't. And so the problem is there's no real followers that I could find, because if they are, you'll see the symptoms that we read about. But you don't see those symptoms. So you see something else. You see the false followers. So the false followers have like the weeds. They've overtaken the real Chaitanya tree. So we're here to reestablish that, and that you can only do it if you have the real mercy.
You must know Krishna so good after all those years.
Well, it increases. That's the whole point. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, this is what keeps the tree alive. The life and soul of a devotee is Lord Chaitanya and Radha and Krishna. That's the life and soul. Is this relationship, and without it, there's no life and soul for them. We're hooked on the truth. The absolute truth. That's how we live. Otherwise, I can't live. Many of you, that's the whole point. You come into this association, you find out what is real life. This is the real vine. This is like, when Jesus said, I'm the true vine. He noticed nobody was a true vine like him. He had the real connection, intimacy with God. The Pharisees didn't have, no other teachers had it. It's not surprising that the same kind of thing is happening here. I haven't found any teachers I could say, oh, there's a true vine. No, I haven't seen that. No, where you see anything? You see any true vine you see the ecstasy of Lord Chaitanya. That's a true vine of the Chaitanya tree, or a true branch. You see any true branches out there manifested? Where they have the same ecstasy. They're, following behind the Lord, chanting in ecstasy, laughing, crying, and like that. And then preaching those realizations, helping people, cutting down jungle growth, whatever needs to be done. Showing, I don't see anything like that. Do you? Do you, Shamaguri, see anything? Any people preaching like this? In the mood of Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda and their real followers? Mm-hmm. You see anybody laughing and crying in ecstasy like they did? So I guess this is one of those rare true vines, man. Unless anybody else wants to show us. I mean, just show us. It's so obvious and so simple, but if people keep covering up the truth, then they think, oh, the lie or the lack of it is the truth. It's basically the lie. They say, oh yeah, being a Varnashram guru I'm your deliverer. That is hypocrisy. That is a lie. No, Lord Chaitanya and his associates, Lord Chaitanya through his associates deliver us. See, that's the truth. If anybody's preaching something else, that's why there's a lack of this mercy of Lord Chaitanya. See? So that's why we have it here. Those who have it faithful in this preaching and this ecstasy get it very easily. Yeah. Go ahead there, Lalita.
Okay. The scriptures proclaim that Krishna previously descended to take away the burden of the earth,
to take away this burden, however, is not the work of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The maintainer, Lord Vishnu, he's one who protects the universe. But the time to lift the burden of the world mixed with the time for Lord Krishna's incarnation, when the complete Supreme Personality of Godhead descends, all other incarnations of the Lord, they meet together within him. Lord Narayana, the four primary expansions, Vasudeva, Sankarsana, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha, Matsya, and the other Lila incarnations, the Yuga avatars, the Manu Antara incarnations, and as many other incarnations as there are, all descend in the body of Lord Krishna. In this way, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna himself appears. At that time, therefore, Lord Vishnu is present in the body of Lord Krishna. And Lord Krishna, he kills the demons through him. Thus, the killing of the demons is but secondary work. I shall now speak of the main reason for the Lord's incarnation. And this, but the Lord's desire to appear was born from two reasons. The Lord wanted to taste the sweet nectar, the sweet essence of the mellows of love of God. And he wanted to propagate devotional service in the world on the platform of spontaneous attraction. And this, like he's known as supremely jubilant and as the most merciful of all.
Yeah, and so you see the incidental activities to kill the demons inside, really. You know, those are the hindrances to this. All that conditioning, all those speculations, all that stuff. That's why it has to be defeated by the Bhagavatam principles. And then this can awaken in the heart. You have to develop, you have to develop faith. You have to develop faith in the real devotees. And take into their association and start gradually letting go of the false. You know, it's all about belief and faith. If you have faith in the illusion, you're illusioned. So you have to take shelter of the real devotees who are more intelligent and more ecstatic. And you have to see that they're more intelligent and more ecstatic. And so there's the preaching. You convince people. See, so that's the whole point: is to be convincing by the truth. You know that it's really true. You become really ecstatic. This is the real path. The real devotees is the door. See, that's people come into this association. When you develop faith, then you start to feel this shelter. And you realize it's a shelter. I didn't know it was a shelter. People told me this wasn't a shelter. So we got to tell them and show them that this is the real shelter. It takes vigorous preaching to do this, otherwise. won't get done. Otherwise, look how, that just rolls on, the Maya. Nobody will take any notice here. Okay? They'll just continue doing that. Well, this is going on. Nobody is opposing us. It's kind of like, what's going on in the world. In the world, the elites, there's no pushback. If there's no pushback, they just go right on and take over and make this a draconian thing, and everybody will be slaves. But there's pushback. Even there are people that say, "Hey, wait a second, we want our freedom." Okay? So they push back. So what are we going to do? See, this is what happened after the disappearance of Lord Caitanya. There is not so much pushback. See, they just, the demons, they infiltrated the disciplic line. And the devotees just removed themselves and just went their way and disappeared. And then this disappeared. See, there was no pushback. There's a bit pushback here. There's the mode of goodness pushback, where they push back, on these elite demon types trying to take over and, make people into slaves. It's a horrible thing, and they murder people, all this crazy shit going on. And so that's going on. So the people pushing back on that. So on that level. So who's going to push back transcendentally? What are we going to just let that take over and just, let everybody think that that's real bhakti, is all of worshiping these bogus gurus? No pushback. We're just going to let them go on and take over, and then all those books that probably everybody just changed them, and after a while they're just like, yeah, you just believe in our gurus, our poopy pope type gurus, full of poop. Yeah, they're the ones. Just follow them. Or is somebody going to push back? Jesus pushed back, didn't he? That's why they want life. You get it there. You don't get it from those popes. They got nothing. You don't get it from these gurus. They prove to me again and again that people come here, and the best thing you can do is lose faith in these liars and cheaters and dacoits that people call gurus. Can't believe it. One pedophile, they're still worshiping him in Prabhupada's temples. Literally. That one guy over in the New Vrindavan, that's what kind of new hell. And they want people, they still doing it. Why? Because nobody is preaching the truth, and so that goes on, continues. No. The real truth is ecstatic devotion, see, and conclusive truth. Real guru who is an ecstatic devotee, like Lord Caitanya, like Nityananda. They have the real understanding, the real conception. That's the door. So, and proof is in the pudding, and the witnesses come, and you see the Lord is giving them ecstasy, that to be able to taste the nectar in these pastimes and names. There you go. That's the real path. Always will be the path. You got to find a true branch or a true vine, whatever you want to call that. It's green. That's where you're going to get the green. Very organic. Go ahead there, Lolita.
Yeah. So, Lord Krishna thought, all the universe is filled with the conception of my majesty, but love, weakened by that sense of majesty, does not satisfy me. But if one regards me as a supreme Lord and himself as a subordinate, I don't become subservient to his love, nor can it control me. In whatever transcendental mellow my devotee worships me, I reciprocate with him. That's my natural behavior.
Read those two verses again.
Yeah. if one regards me as a Supreme Lord
Back.
and himself, one higher, yeah. All the universe is filled with the conception of my majesty, but love, weakened by that sense of majesty, does not satisfy me.
Yeah, I mean, nobody will know that satisfaction of the Lord unless you get really close to the Lord. So the Lord devised a beautiful way, chanting the names of God. And if you do it in association of those who experience that intimacy, that closeness, then you can see and be encouraged, and your vibration will change. You speed up your purification. Otherwise, we see people. They start on the Vaidhi path, and probably their whole lives they're just always in this awe and reverent thing, and they don't know this closeness. But this just speeds up the process. This is for the people who really want to know God. Do you want to know this closeness? You want to. Do you want to experience the result of Chaitanya's preaching, Chaitanya Leela preaching, the result of these verses? Well, that's only with experienced devotees who experience that closeness. And see, it doesn't satisfy the Lord, right? So what's the deep meaning of that? It doesn't satisfy you. That's why no one will really be satisfied until they get more close with God.
The reciprocation.
The devotees see, the highest revelation of the absolute truth is Vrindavan. Like the Garden of Eden, but Vrindavan is more explained, Garden of Eden. This closeness makes the Lord happy, but we don't know that our happiness is his happiness until you enter into the real line. You need the real branch that knows that. See, that's the kind of gurus and that's the kind of devotees that are made here. If you want that kind of closeness, because you experience the extraordinary happiness of the Lord, you think, I'm just telling you, this is my own experience. What other greater happiness? I haven't experienced any happiness like this in this world. Your happiness is it. Boy, thank you. Oh, wonderful. What great mercy to get Vrindavan. That's Vrindavan consciousness, is the Lord's happiness. And you live in that, and you live for that. You're a real, true servant, intimate servant of the Lord, who really knows their position to make the Lord happy. See, that's what you see here. Devotees giving the Lord extraordinary happiness, and you see how happy they are simultaneously, one and different, one with the Lord and their position as a servant. That's called intimacy. Okay? Once you get that, then you never look out there for completion. There's nobody that can give you that kind of intimate relation out there in the world. No matter how beautiful they are physically or even mentally or personality wise, unless they're actual devotees. That's why in Vrindavan there are only devotees there. Some people naturally inclined, they want to be together, with people. Some people are more brahmachari, sannyasi types. Even in the kingdom, they travel together or sometimes alone. Like Narada Muni, he likes to be alone. He's more of a loner, but not alone. Nobody's alone. Some people are more family oriented. They like, the groups, like this. See, even on a transcendental world, there's all kinds of varieties of people, just like here. Isn't that amazing? You don't lose anything. That's why devotional service is the greatest thing, because it's so natural. Once you ease into the transcendental position, you realize, wow, it's natural. Brahman realization, this oneness realization, to merge with God, is a fearful condition because you lose your real position. It's like destroying your body. You don't really destroy it, but it's covered with this merging with God. We're not built for that, really. And some people, as they're merging, they get very afraid. And you should be, because you lose your service to the Lord. We're meant to serve the Lord eternally, giving him eternal happiness, all, like this, make him happy and experience this result of our happiness is his happiness, and do that forever. And then, like you were saying, your realizations, your understanding, your ecstasy increases more and more. See? So don't be a robot, be a transformer. I would start all over just to have what is being presented here. Everything else is useless, unnecessary. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, you get a taste for this. Go ahead, Lolita. What?
No, I put my thumb on what
You put the
Janardana
thumb up.
says.
Thumb up. Yeah, exactly. Because this is the essence of truth. This is Jesus's teachings explained even more. And if anybody's offended by that, you're not even logical. I mean, look, Lord Caitanya is the latest incarnation. How do we know? Well, look at Jesus. How do we know Jesus? Well, because Jesus, he said some really amazing things and did some amazing things, right? Well, Lord Caitanya said even more amazing things and did even more amazing things. See? Of course. And then people forget about that because we don't see his amazing things anymore. Except here, people getting love of God like they did then. That's pretty amazing. Being delivered, getting the ability to be like liberated souls and taste the nectar of the holy names, make the Lord happy. Yeah. Yeah, this is, this possibility is here for the devotees. Otherwise, if you're not interested, you don't think I'm not preaching the truth? It's right there in the verses. He came to taste this nectar. We're tasting that nectar. He became so ecstatic and happy because that's the happiness of God. And we're doing that also. Where else is there any more truth equal to this? Better than this? All I've seen, everything is less intelligent, less ecstatic. See, people need to know that. Who's going to point out the path? Who's going to show the path? You show the path and they we don't know. Our gurus aren't telling you that. Well, what are they telling you? Some speculation? Well, I'm going to tell you the truth of this path. I'm going to logically present this so that you see that this is the greatest thing in the world, that we know what we're talking about, and not we're just talking theoretically and speculatively. No, it's my experience. I know what being close with God is. I show the happiness of that. My disciples even show the happiness of being close with God. Therefore, this is the most real path that I've seen to date, presenting real Krishna consciousness in this world. And if you show us, if you say there's something else, some other, what I would consider a dead branch, show me the dead branches that you say are alive. Convince some of our friends in this. It's like like a court of law. Prabhupada said, what did he say? My books are the law books for 10,000 years. Well, what the heck does that mean? It only has meaning here. Yeah, presented before the court of law here. See, the law of love for Krishna. The conclusive truth that glorifies that love and shows that love, demonstrates that love. Yeah, I think this is more of a court of law than I've ever seen anywhere. This is better than free man. This is the result of free man. This is where it's all leading. It's leading into this, yeah. Go ahead, Lolita, what?
And the cause of free men.
Yeah, the cause of free man, yeah. Yeah, this is, go ahead, read on.
So, I read that sentence about the majesty. Now I say, if one regards me as Supreme Lord and himself as a subordinate, I don't become subservient to his love, nor can it control me. In whatever transcendental mellow my devotee worships me, I reciprocate with him. That is my natural behavior.
Yeah, if you worship the Lord intimately, he reciprocates intimately.
Yeah.
See, reciprocation is this happiness. It's extraordinary. It's none like it. That's why people, they have to understand that, of course, you've never seen this. It's very rare. Yeah, what do you, we just want to be like the remember Jonathan living, he's flying high. We fly high. You guys are down there and you're thinking, well, this can't be true because look, we're all flying at the same level and you're up there. Well, hey, man, you can also come up there. Follow, don't listen. What keeps you down there is your belief. And see, Jonathan could fly high and he did. See, and so people are only kept on the lower consciousness because of their belief and their faith in that level. See, we're preaching what's already been preached. The topmost level of consciousness was preached, which is the topmost understanding was preached by an experienced person. Lord Caitanya, Madhavendra Puri, Ishvara Puri. They're all tasters of the nectar of the holy name and showed the result of that. It was their happiness, and they showed people, the world, like, hey, you can also get this. See, those who became disciples of Madhavendra Puri for the right reasons, of course, like Ishvara Puri did, they got this ecstatic devotion. And then they became like their guru. Ecstatic, what else is there, You're not good with that? What do you want to, imitate being guru, and then by the imitation, you don't get the taste. Yeah. It's like the preaching comes from the ecstasy. The preaching, the title of being a guru and all that stuff, people, it comes from the taste. Yeah. You get the right understanding. Everything, get everything. You don't need any papers. I don't need any group to tell me anything. I don't need like a committee to give me a stamp of approval that I'm a guru, spiritual master. You see, you don't need it because you have love of God. You have the right understanding. You just preach that. You show that and preach that. And those who the Lord says, I want to deliver these people because they're looking for me. See? Go ahead there, Lalita.
Okay. In whatever way my devotees surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. Everyone follows my path in all respects. O son of Prita, what does respect means here? Everyone follows my path in all respects. Does it have another meaning than we're
Oh,
used to?
yeah. See, that's why I love Bhagavad Gita and mainly, a lot of Bhagavad Gita because the Lord talks in the broad terms. See, so whatever way my devotee surrenders to me, I reward them accordingly. This is a good way to understand. Everyone follows my path in all respects. That's why if you're not preaching, Uttamadhikari says, oh, everybody's a devotee. They're all devotee. Everybody's a devotee. Everyone is. Because everyone follows the Lord's path. Because it's all designed because of the level of consciousness of the devotee, so the Lord reciprocates. So for example, if I'm say I'm a bit like Bill Gates and I'm really into fruitive work and I love making profits. See, I love gold. I love gold. Oh, I love money. I love gold. I love gold. See? So everyone follows my path. Who is gold? What is it? It's from God, right? It is God. And it's from his body. Everything is made from his own body, So he has a material shadow. People think that's his body. And it's a shadow, it's a shadow. He casts a shadow. His real body is transcendental. See? So, but people go after the shadow. So the Lord, for the fools or less intelligent people, he manifests as gold or money or wife and children. Something. And that's his shadow. He casts a shadow in this world. And people go after the shadow of happiness. And he reciprocates. You get a little happiness, wow, I'm rich. Oh, I feel so great. I'm rich. Is it really a great happiness? Reciprocation? Fruitive workers, right? That's actually an obstacle on the path of devotion, but a lot of fruitive work, they like it. They like, oh yeah, I work, I work the good day's work and I feel good, have my little beer, I have sense enjoyment. See, the Lord is the beer. He's the work. So he's these, and so for those kinds of workers, see, he reciprocates. It gives them a good feeling. That's the Lord's feeling, actually. That's your reward. So devotees, you come here, you're going to not be satisfied with these things, the 4 goals of life. See, 4 goals of life: economic development, work, fruitive work, sense gratification, always just drinking, and eating and, and mating and defending, all this sense enjoyments won't be fully satisfying. But materialists, they think they're fully satisfied, but it's just less intelligence. Yeah. And ultimately, people, they move through the things and go towards liberation. They find out all these things, all it does is burn you out. You end up being excessive. You end up eating too much, drinking too much. Isn't that a big thing now? Big addictions, everybody eating too much, drinking too much, and going wild, especially since these lockdowns and stuff. I get reports, I go and I look at all these things. And people they used to smoke maybe 1 joint. Now they're smoking 10 joints a day. They used to drink one like once in a while. Now they drink every day. See, it's becoming more and more. It's getting so kind of ridiculously like. I mean, how many onslaughts of misery can just ordinary people take? In the world. I mean, just when people they're depending on the 4 goals of life, right? 4 goals of life: sense gratification, economic development, religiosity, maybe, and all of these things, and liberation is not even in their minds usually. So look at what's being attacked. Your sense enjoyment is being attacked. They want you to eat bugs. That's coming down the pipe. Eating bugs, living in your freedom of travel is being taken away, and your work is being taken away from many people because the robots are taking over. People pretty soon they'll have dog walkers, robot dog walkers. You'll even be out of a job. See, so all this stuff is taken away. And that's why, people just go for the drugs or go for the pharmaceuticals. They're depressing. The government becomes mean, and draconian, controlling. Unless you have something like this, how are you going to, like, to me, it's like, whatever, it's just, I just find it how interesting the Lord is trying to show people that ultimately you can be, this is the best thing for people actually, is to the Lord to kind of force their hand, to say, hey man, go for it, develop your spiritual body. It's available now. Like here, what we're preaching here. This is available now. This is available to the Vaidhi Bhaktas, to ISKCON, to anybody can come here in this association. We have choppers and spades here. We'll uncover the real deity here so that you can have this intimacy. Why not? Okay? Otherwise, what's your alternative? Look at this, out there, just the mode of ignorance and passion is highly increased right now. Yeah. To me, it's like, what's the big deal? It's like we don't feel it because the Lord has given us protection. It's true. That's what convinces me. I really see the Lord's protection here. That's why, how can I not be faithful? I feel so protected from all this. And I see it in you guys, that you guys seem to be like also getting it. Or many of you, I don't know, maybe some might be struggling a little bit, but hey, your struggles will turn into more and more bliss, just like mine have, just like other people's have here. It's great. We got a family here. You could get support.
Yeah, most are. With everybody, it's increasing, actually. I can feel that on the talks of people.
What's increasing?
The ecstasy, the happiness, the vibrations that you get from your classes. Everybody is getting enlightened on different levels, but yeah, it's enlightening. It's really enlightening.
Yeah.
Otherwise, people wouldn't stay,
Yeah. That's you got to get something. Otherwise, either you're getting the shelter or not. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. Read on.
So, if one cherishes pure devotion to me, thinking of me as his son, his friend of his beloved, regarding himself as great, and considering me his equal of inferior, I become subordinate to him. It's how you think about him that he becomes. Devotional service rendered to me by the living beings revives their eternal life.
Yeah, so that's the two stages. You got the Vaidhi Bhakti, that the work isn't finished there. It's like Moses stuff, rules, regulations. The work isn't finished. And then many generations before Jesus came to finish some level of the work. See? So pure devotional service is where it's at now. That revives. This is where the Vaidhis must go. Otherwise, you're not revived yet. You're not alive yet until you got what the Lord brought here. He brought pure devotional service. This really for real revives your eternal life. You feel it. You experience it. You're not a materialistic devotee anymore. You know what is actually spiritual. The Lord has revealed his spiritual Satchidananda presence. You know that. You preach that. See, other people can know that. They can come into this. You want your eternal life revived. This is how it's styled. You have to come into the situation where there's a transcendental tree of this here in this world, and take nest in that tree. Otherwise, how are you gonna get out? How are you gonna get your eternal life revived? You don't even know what it is. Satchidananda, your eternal form is awakened. See, and that form needs to be nourished by engaging and hearing and chanting and remembering about the name, the fame, the pastimes of the Lord. In feeling that ecstatic nourishment. Okay? Yeah. Go ahead there, Lalita.
Oh, my dear, oh, my dear Davisha Raja, your affection for me is your good fortune, for it's the only means by which you have obtained my favor.
See, Lalita is an example of that. Her affection, or any other devotee's affection for Krishna, see, is the good fortune of the devotee. It's simply that's Bhakti Lata Bij. That's attachment to the transcendental form of the Lord. Without it, you're still unfortunate. You're not very. I mean, you could be a Vaidhi Bhakti and have faith in Krishna, but if your affection is small, you're just a little fortunate or less fortunate. But the most fortunate get strong attachment to the Lord, strong attachment to his names and pastimes. See? Because that affection gives you realization and revelation about that the Lord is these pastimes. That's why they're here, is so we can develop our affection. See, when you get this Bhakti Lata Bij, like Lord Caitanya said, those who receive this Bhakti Lata Bij, coming up in some verses here, they need to continue to water it in Sadhu Sangha. And then it'll grow. Otherwise, if you don't, it's like an abandonment of duty. You know, your duty as a mother and father to Krishna that's inside you awaken. You got a little baby in there now. It needs food, and the food ain't mundane. It's not those sweet balls. That's for the neophytes. The simply wonderfuls. No, that's not wonderful enough. It's like Kamalakanta, you know, he's faithful in prasadam, but doesn't know much about this prasad, can't understand it. See? So you need this kind of awakening. And then you realize, the Lord's looking for these kind of sweet balls. You know?
He can't understand because he doesn't listen enough. I remember I saw a video of myself of a few years ago, and Shamagori said, "Oh, I wish we could have a feast with Prasadam, and I will cook for all of you." And still that conception, but she kept on listening. Yeah. And now I saw a while ago that she said, "This is Prasadam." So
yeah,
this is he doesn't listen. He doesn't hear. He just pops up here and there. Yeah. How can he understand?
Yeah, because it's going here. This is the thing, you know. Yeah. But it's a good perspective, because you could see where a lot of people are at. They're still at that level of, that's why that path is there for people who they see the mercy is in some physical object, and so that's why it's part of the the beginning stages. Okay? And if he brings to a point in this life or another life where he listens with faith, he can move to the next platform and see that this prasadam is superior. Yeah. So anyway, Lord Caitanya came to teach this, and we're here to teach that. And whoever's ready will come. They know who they are. Yeah. The walls have ears.
Yeah, we all in our Sangha, we have this concept. We hear it every day from you. But somebody like Malakanta, he's a Vaidhi. He's a Vaidhi.
It's a good perspective. We need some of that. Thank you for your preaching, Kamalakanta. Show us the different levels here. We need perspective. Yeah. All right, let's chant a little japa together. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
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 Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare, Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama.
Hare
Rama,
Rama.
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Rama Rama,
Krishna, Hare
Hare Hare.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Rama.
Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Rama,
Krishna, Hare
Rama Rama,
Krishna.
Hare Hare
Krishna,
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 Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Krishna.
Rama, Rama Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Hare Hare,
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Hare.
Rama.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare.
Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Hare, Krishna,
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare. Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
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 Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare.
Krishna, Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
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 Hare Hare. Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
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 Rama Rama,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare.
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Rama,
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
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 Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Rama,
Hare Hare.
Rama, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama,
Hare. Hare
Rama, Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Hare. Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama,
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare,
Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna, Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Rama
Krishna,
Rama, Hare Hare. Hare
Krishna,
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 Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Rama, Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama, Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare. Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Krishna,
Rama, Rama,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Rama, Rama Rama,
Krishna,
Hare Hare.
Krishna, Hare
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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna, Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama, Hare Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna, Krishna Hare
Hare
Hare Rama, Hare
Rama,
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 Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama,
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Hare
Krishna
Rama.
Rama, Hare
Rama,
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 Rama
Hare Hare, Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama.
Rama, Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama, Hare
Rama
Hare, Hare
Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Hare
Hare Hare.
Rama. Rama, Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama.
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Rama,
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna.
Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Rama, Rama
Krishna,
Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Rama, Hare Rama,
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna, Hare
Rama, Hare
Hare,
Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama.
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna,
Krishna.
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama.
Krishna,
Rama, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Rama,
Hare, Hare
Rama
Rama.
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare, Krishna,
Hare
Rama, Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna.
Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Hare,
Rama,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Rama
Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama Hare
Rama,
Rama
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Rama,
Hare Hare, Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare, Hare Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama, Rama Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare Hare,
Rama,
Rama
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Rama, Rama
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna, Hare
Rama Rama Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna, Hare
Rama
Hare,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna, Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Krishna
Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Rama Rama,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare Krishna
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare Hare,
Rama
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Krishna Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare
Hare Rama,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama,
Hare Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare
Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Rama Rama,
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Rama Hari
Krishna.
Rama 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 Hari Hari Hari
Rama
Krishna
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari
Hare
Rama
Krishna, Hare
Rama
Krishna.
Rama Hari
Krishna
Hari
Krishna,
Hari
Hare Hare.
Krishna
Hare
Hari
Rama,
Krishna
Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Hari
Hare
Hari
Krishna,
Hari
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Hari
Krishna
Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare,
Krishna Hari Hari Hari
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Hari
Hare Rama.
Rama Rama
Rama Rama,
Rama
Hare Hare.
Hari
Krishna,
Hari
Krishna.
Hari Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna.
Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari
Hare
Hari
Rama,
Hari
Hare
Rama Hari Rama
Rama.
Rama Rama Hari
Hare Krishna,
Hari
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Hari
Hare.
Hari Hari
Hare
Rama
Rama, Hare
Hari
Rama.
Rama
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 Rama,
Rama
Hare Hare.
Hari
Krishna,
Hari Hari Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari Hari
Krishna,
Hari
Krishna,
Rama Hari
Hare
Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna 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 Hari Hari Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna 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 Hari Hari Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari Hari
Hare
Hari
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Hari Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hari
Krishna,
Rama Hari
Krishna,
Rama
Hare Hare.
Rama
Hare
Rama
Rama, Hare
Hari
Rama.
Hari Hari
Rama
Krishna
Rama,
Hari
Hare Hare.
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna, Hare Hare.
Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari Hari
Hare
Hari
Rama, Hare
Krishna
Rama.
Hari Krishna
Rama Rama,
Krishna
Hare Hare.
Krishna
Krishna,
Hari
Hare
Hari Hari Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hari
Hare
Hari
Krishna.
Hari Rama Hari Rama Rama
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna,
Hari
Hare
Hari Hari Krishna Hari Krishna
Hare Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Rama.
Hari 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 Rama Hari
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama
Hare.
Hari Hari Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hari
Hare Hare.
Hari Hari Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari
Hare
Hari
Rama,
Hari
Hare Rama.
Krishna Hari
Rama
Krishna
Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hari
Krishna.
Hari Hari Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari Hari
Hare
Hari
Krishna,
Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari Hari
Krishna,
Hari
Krishna, Hare
Rama
Hare Rama, Hare
Rama
Rama.
Rama Hari Hari
Rama Rama,
Hari
Hare Hare.
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare
Krishna
Rama.
Krishna
Rama
Hari 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 Rama Hari
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama Hari
Krishna.
Hari Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Hari
Hare
Hari Rama Rama Rama
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Hari
Hare
Hari Hari Krishna Hari Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hari
Hare
Hari Hari Rama Hari
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama
Krishna.
Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari Hari Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari Hari Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari Hari Hari
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hari Krishna Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Hari
Krishna,
Hari
Hare
Hari Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari Hari Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare Hare
Hare
Rama Hare
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
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 Hare,
Hare
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 Rama,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama
Krishna,
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama
Hare Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Krishna
Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare Hare,
Rama
Hare
Rama
Krishna, Hare
Hare Hare Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Rama, Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Hare Hare
Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama 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 Hare Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Rama
Ram,
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Ram,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Rama Rama Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
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 Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Rama Rama
Ram,
Rama
Hare
Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna, Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Rama
Rama
Hare
Rama
Ram,
Rama, Hare
Rama
Ram
Hare,
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Rama, Hare
Krishna
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama Hare
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna,
Rama Rama
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Hare Hare Krishna
Rama
Krishna
Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Hare Hare
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Hare,
Rama Rama Hare
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare,
Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama
Rama
Rama
Rama, Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Krishna
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare Rama,
Krishna Hare
Rama,
Hare Hare
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Rama
Krishna
Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare Rama Hare Rama
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare Hare Krishna Hare
Rama
Krishna
Rama, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare 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 Rama
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Rama
Hare Hare, Hare
Rama
Rama, Hare
Rama
Rama,
Hare Hare
Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama Rama
Hare
Rama
Rama
Ram,
Hare
Rama,
Hare
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 Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
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 Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Rama,
Hare Rama
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Rama
Hare Hare, Hare
Rama
Krishna, Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Hare Hare Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama, Hare
Krishna
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Rama
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Krishna.
Rama
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna
Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna.
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare Hare
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Hare Rama Rama Rama
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Shri
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Shri
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Shri
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Shri
Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Shri
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Chaitanya,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Chaitanya,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Chaitanya.
Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Krishna
Rama
Krishna,
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama.
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare, Hare
Hare Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Rama
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare, Rama Hare
Hare
Rama.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama.
Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare Hare, Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama Hare
Hare
Rama Rama Rama
Hare
Hare Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna
Rama Rama
Hare
Hare Hare
Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna.
Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Rama, Rama,
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Hare Rama
Krishna, Krishna
Rama
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Hare Hare Krishna Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Krishna
Rama
Krishna
Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama Hare
Krishna,
Rama
Hare Krishna,
Rama Rama
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna
Rama Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Hare Rama
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna Hare
Rama Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare Rama
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna
Rama Rama,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Rama Hare Rama
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Rama
Hare,
Rama
Hare
Hare Hare
Rama, Hare
Krishna
Rama, Rama
Krishna
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama Hare
Hare
Rama
Hare, Hare
Rama
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama Hare
Krishna
Rama
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama
Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna
Hare Rama,
Krishna
Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Rama Hare Rama
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama Hare
Rama,
Rama
Hare Rama,
Rama
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 Rama,
Hare
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 Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare,
Rama Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Hare Rama
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Hare, Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama Hare Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Rama
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Hare, Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare Krishna
Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna
Hare Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Rama, Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari Hari Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari Hari Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna
Rama Rama Hari Hari
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Hare Rama Hare
Krishna
Rama
Krishna Hare Hari Hare
Rama
Rama Hare
Rama
Rama
Hare 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 Krishna Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Rama
Rama
Hare 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 Krishna Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hare
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 Krishna
Rama Hare Rama
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 Hare
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 Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
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 Rama Hare
Rama
Rama
Hare Rama Rama
Rama Rama
Rama
Hare
Hare
Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Rama
Hare
Rama Rama
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Hare Rama
Krishna
Rama
Krishna
Hare
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 Hare Hare
Hare
Rama Hare
Krishna
Rama
Hare Krishna Krishna
Rama
Krishna
Rama Hare
Hare
Hare Hare Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Rama Hare Rama
Chaitanya Prabhu
Rama Rama
Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara
Krishna
Shri
Krishna Hare Hare
Vasavi Gaura
Rama Rama
Bhakta
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Rama
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Rama
Hare Hare,
Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama
Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare
Rama
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Krishna
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Rama
Krishna
Rama
Krishna,
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Rama
Rama Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama, Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama,
Rama Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Rama
Rama Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Krishna Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare 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 Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama.
Rama, Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama, Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Rama
Rama Hare
Rama
Rama.
Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama, Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Rama,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Rama Rama, Hare Krishna.
Oops. Jaya Jaya, Sri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Sri Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaur Bhaktavinda.
Jaya
Let's see.
Jaya Sri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Sri Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta
Let's see here. Srimad Bhagavatam. Oops. Okay, Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, how about Canto 1? I don't know about that. Canto 10. Uh, Chapter 11, Childhood Pastimes of Krishna. Text 1. Sukadev Goswami continued, O Maharaj Parikshit, when the Yamul Ajun trees fell, all the cowherd men in the neighborhood, hearing the fierce sound and fearing thunderbolts, went to the spot. There they saw the fallen Yamala Arjun trees on the ground, but they were bewildered because even though they could directly perceive that the trees had fallen, they could not trace out the cause for their having done so. Purport, considering all the circumstances, but they had had this been done by Krishna, he was standing on the spot, and his playmates described that this had been done by him. Oh, wait a minute, let me turn the music off here. Krishna. Okay. I think the music's off.
I'm sorry, Guru Maharaj. Are you reading from Prabhupada's books? Because in the database there is no purport on this verse.
Are you on text 2?
I thought text 1.
I just finished text 1.
And you said purport.
Anyway, I'm on text 2 now.
Okay, sorry. Sorry.
No problem. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Text number 3. Oh, wait a second. 10th, yeah. Krishna was bound by the rope to the ulahala, the mortar, which he was dragging. But how could he have pulled down the trees? Who had actually done it? Where was the source of this incident? Considering all these astounding things, the cowherd men were doubtful and bewildered. Purport. The cowherd men were very much agitated because the child Krishna, after all, had been standing between the 2 trees. And if by chance the trees had fallen upon him, he would have been smashed. I think I got to go to another chapter here. Let's try another chapter here. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Okay, chapter. Chapter 21. The gopis glorify the song of Krishna's flute. Text 1. Shukadev Goswami said, thus the Vrindavan forest was filled with transparent autumnal waters and cooled by breezes, perfumed with the fragrance of lotus flowers growing in the clear lakes. The infallible Lord, accompanied by his own cows and cowherd boyfriends, entered the Vrindavan forest. The lakes, the rivers, the hills, the Vrindavan of Vrindavan resounded with the sounds of maddened bees and flocks of birds, moving about the flowering trees in the company of the cowherd boys and Balaram. Madhupati, Sri Krishna entered that forest, and while herding the cows, he began to vibrate his flute. So go ahead, who wants to read a little bit? Okay, go ahead.
What verse are you on now?
This is
3.
verse number 2.
Okay. Okay. So it's Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10.
Yeah, 20. Chapter 21.
Sorry. Gosh. 21. Text 2. sorry, I'm on a slow motion today. Okay. I don't know if I'm on the right chapter. Anyway, the lakes, is that right? The lakes, rivers, and hills.
Chapter 21.
I thought I was on 21. Okay.
She's right, Guru Maharaj.
She's right? 21?
21 is the gopis glorify the song of Krishna's flute.
Yeah.
That's the one I'm on.
Text 2.
Yeah, that's right.
So text 2 is the lakes, rivers, and hills of Vrindavan resounded with the songs of maddening bees and flocks of birds moving around the flowering trees in the company of the cowherd boys and Balaram. Madhupati, Sri Krishna, entered the forest, and while herding the cows, he began to vibrate his flute. When the young ladies in the cowherd village of Raj heard the song of Krishna's flute, which arouses the influence of Cupid, some of them privately began describing Krishna's qualities to their intimate friends. The cowherd girls began to speak about Krishna, and when they remembered his activities, O king, the power of Cupid disturbed their minds. O king, the power of Cupid disturbed their minds, and thus they could not speak. Wearing a peacock feather ornament upon his head, blue kankara flowers on his ears, a yellow garment as brilliant as gold, and a Vajanti garland, Lord Krishna exhibited his transcendental form as the greatest of dancers as he entered the forest of Vrindavan, beautifying it with the marks of his footprints. He filled the holes of his flute with the nectar of his lips. And the cowherd boys sang his glories. O king, when the young ladies in Vraj heard the sound of Krishna's flute, which captivates the minds of all living beings, they all embraced one another and began describing it. The cowherd girl said, "Oh friends, those eyes that see the beautiful faces of the son of Maharaj Nanda are certainly fortunate." As these two sons enter the forest, surrounded by their friends, driving the cows before them, they hold their flutes to their mouths and glance lovingly upon the residents of Vrindavan. For those who have the eyes, we think there is no greater object of vision. Dressed in charming variety of garments, upon which their garlands rest, and decorating themselves with peacock feathers, lotus lilies, newly grown mangoes, sprouts and clusters of flower buds. Krishna and Balaram shine. Krishna and Balaram shine forth magnificently amongst the assembled cowherd boys. They look just like the best of dancers, appearing on a dramatic stage And sometimes they sing. My dear gopis, what auspicious activities must the flute have performed to enjoy the nectar of Krishna's lips independently and leave only a taste for us gopis, for whom that nectar is actually meant. The forefathers of the flute, the bamboo trees, shed tears of pleasure. His mother, his mother, the river on whose bank the bamboo was born, feels jubilation, and therefore her blooming lotus flowers are standing like hairs on her body. Oh, friend, Vrindavan is speaking the glory of the earth, having obtained the treasure of the lotus feet of Krishna, the son of Devaki. The peacocks dance madly where they hear Govinda's flute, and when other creatures see them from the hilltops, they all become stunned. Blessed are these foolish deer. Blessed are all these foolish deer, because they have approached Maharaj and the sun, who is gorgeously dressed. Dressed and is playing on his flute. Indeed, both the doe and the bucks worship the Lord with looks of love and affection. Krishna's beauty Krishna's beauty and character create a festival for all women. Indeed, when the demigods' wives flying in aeroplanes with their husbands catch sight of him and hear his resident flute song, their hearts are shaken by Cupid, and they become so bewildered that the flowers fall out of their hair and their belts loosen. Using their upraised ears as vessels, the cows are drinking the nectar of the flute song, flowering out of the mouth. The calves, their mouths full of the milk from their mothers, moist nipples, stand still as they take Govinda within themselves. Through their tear-filled eyes, embraced him within their hearts, and embraced him within their hearts. Oh, mother, in this forest, all the birds have risen into the beautiful branches of the trees to see Krishna. With closed eyes, they are simply listening in silence to the sweet vibration of his flute. and they are not attracted by any other sound. Surely these birds are on the same level as great sages. When the rivers heard the flute song of Krishna, their minds began to desire him, and thus the flow of their current is broken, and their waters are agitated, moving around in whirlpools. Then with the arms of their waves, the rivers embrace Muari's lotus feet, and holding on to them, present offerings of lotus flowers. In the company of Balaram and the cowherd boys, Lord Krishna is continually vibrating his flute as he herds all the animals of Raj. Even under the full heat of the summer sun, seeing this, the cloud in the sky has expanded himself out of love. He is rising high and constructing out of his own body with its multitude of flowers, like droplets of water, an umbrella for the sake of his friend. The Aborigine women of the Vrindavan area became disturbed by lust when they see the grass marked with the reddish kumar powder, endowed with the color of Krishna's lotus feet. This powder originally decorated the breasts of his beloved, and when the Aborigine women smear it on their faces and breasts, they feel fully satisfied and give up all their anxiety. Of all the devotees, this Govardhan hill is the best. Oh, my friends, this hill supplies Krishna and Balaram along with their calves, cows, and cowherd friends, with all kinds of necessities: water for drinking, very soft grass, calves, fruit, flowers, and vegetables. In this way, the hill offers respects to the Lord, being touched by the lotus feet of Krishna and Balaram. Govardhan appears jubilant. My dear friends, as Krishna and Balaram pass through the forest with their cowherd friends, leading their cows, they carry ropes to bind the cows' rear legs at the time of milking. And Lord Krishna plays on his flute. The sweet music causes the moving living entities to become stunned, and the non-moving trees to tremble with ecstasy. These things are certainly very wonderful. Thus, narrating to one another the playful pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead as he wanders about in Vrindavan forest. The gopis become filled. The gopis become fully absorbed in thoughts of him. Shall I go on, Maharaj?
Lalita, you want to read a little bit now?
It's the end of this chapter.
No, I think
So-
we go actually.
No. Is there more? Really?
I think I don't know.
If not, read the next chapter.
Okay. Krishna.
Yeah, it's the end, Lalita. Just read the next one.
Yeah, okay. Krishna steals the garments of the unmarried gopis. Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Tukadeva Goswami, he said, during the first month of the winter season, the young unmarried girls of Gokula, they observed the vow of worshipping goddess Katyayani. For the entire month, they ate only unspiced khichdi. My dear king, after they had bathed in the water of the Yamuna, just as the sun was rising, the gopis made an earthen deity of goddess Durga on the riverbank. Then they worshipped her with such aromatic substances as sandalwood pulp, along with other items both opulent and simple, including lamps, fruits, betel nuts, newly grown leaves, and fragrant garlands and incense. Each of the young unmarried girls performed her worship while chanting the following mantra. Oh, goddess of Katyayani, O great potency of the Lord, O possessor of great mystic power and mighty controller of all, please make the son of Nanda Maharaj my husband. I offer I offer my obeisances unto you, and thus for an entire month the girls carried out their vow and properly worshipped the goddess Badrakali fully, fully, fully absorbing their minds in Krishna and meditating upon the following thought. May the son of King Nanda become my husband. Each day they rose at dawn, calling out to one another by name. They all held hands and loudly sang the glories, the glories of Krishna, while going to the Kalindi to take their bath. One day they came to the riverbank and putting aside their clothing as they had done before, happily played in the water while singing the glories of Krishna. Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead and Master of all masters of mystic yoga, he was aware of what the gopis were doing, and thus he went there surrounded by his young companions to award the gopis the perfection of their endeavor. Taking, taking, taking the garment, taking the girl's garments. He quickly climbed on the top of the kadamba tree, and then, as he laughed loudly, and his companions also laughed, He addressed the girls jokingly. But Krishna said, my dear girls, you may each go here as you wish and take back your garment. I'm telling you the truth. I'm not joking with you. Since I see your fatigue from executing austere vows, I have never before spoken a lie, and these boys know it. Therefore, oh slender-waisted girls, please come forward. Either one by one or all together and pick out your clothes. Seeing how Krishna was joking with them. The girls became fully immersed in love for him. And as they glanced at each other, they began to laugh and joke among themselves. Even even in their embarrassment. But still, they did not come out of the water. As Sri Govinda spoke to the gopis in this way, his joking words completely captivated their minds. Submerged up in their necks, up to their necks in the cold water. They began to shiver, and thus they addressed him as follows. The gopis said, Dear Krishna, don't be unfair. You are, we know that you are the respectable son of Nanda. And that you are honored by everyone in Braja. You are also very dear to us. Please give us back our clothes. We are shivering in the cold water. Oh, Shavasundara. We are your maidservants. And must do whatever you say. But give us back our clothing. You know what the religious principles are. And I'm sorry. And if you don't give us our clothes, we will have to tell the king. Please. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, if you girls are actually my maidservants, And if you will really do what I say, then come here with your innocent smiles and let each girl pick out her clothes. If you don't do what I say, I won't give them back to you. And even if the king becomes angry, what can he do? And then shivering from the painful cold, all the young girls rose up out of the water, covering their public covering their public area with their hands. When the Supreme Lord saw how the gopis were struck with embarrassment, he was satisfied by their pure, loving affection. Putting their clothes on his shoulder, the Lord smiled and he spoke to them with affection. I'm sorry, Guru Maharaj. I really need to go to toilet. Sorry.
Wait a second here. Okay, go ahead.
Can I go to toilet, please?
Yeah, of course. Go for it. Oops. Mm-hmm. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama. Amy says, I was just sitting thinking how we are like God's pets. You know how a dog is usually grateful and happy to be a pet, to get attention of the owner. It's like a complete ecstasy for them. And we like that for Krishna. Any form of direct contact or attention, connection is so glorious. Yes, right. Go ahead there. Continue.
When the Supreme Lord saw how the gopis were struck with embarrassment, he was satisfied by their pure loving affection. Putting their clothes on his shoulder. The Lord smiled and he spoke to them with affection. Lord Krishna said, you girls, you bathed naked while executing your vow, and that's certainly an offense against the demigods. To counteract your sin, you should offer obeisances while placing your joint palms above your heads. And then you should take back your lower garments. and, and thus the young girls of Raja, considering what Lord Achyuta had told them, they accepted that they had suffered a fall down from their vow by bathing naked in the river, but they still desired to successfully complete their vow. And since Lord Krishna is himself the ultimate result of all pious activities, he offered their obeisances to him to cleanse away all their sins. Seeing them bow down like that, the Supreme Personality of God, the Son of Devaki, he gave them back their garments. Very compassionate toward them and satisfied by their act. although, although the gopis had been thoroughly cheated, deprived of their modesty, ridiculed, and made to act just like toy dolls. And although their clothing had been stolen, they didn't feel at all inimical towards Sri Krishna. Rather, they were simply joyful to have this opportunity to associate with their beloved. The gopis were addicted to associate with their beloved Krishna. And thus they became captivated by him. And thus even after putting their clothes on, they didn't move. They simply remained where they were, shyly glancing at him. The Supreme Lord understood the determination of the gopis in executing their strict vow. The Lord also knew that the girls desired to touch his lotus. And thus Lord Damodara Krishna he spoke to them as follows. Lord Krishna said, "O saintly girls, I understand that your real motive in this austerity has been to worship me. That intent of yours is approved by me. It's approved of by me, and indeed it must come to pass. The desire of those who fix of those who fix their mind on me does not lead to material desire for sense gratification, just as barley corns burned by the sun and then cooked can no longer grow into new sprouts. Go now, girls, and return to Vraja. Your desire is fulfilled." For in my company, you will enjoy the coming night. After all, this was the purpose of your vow, to worship Goddess Kachajani. Oh, pure-hearted ones.
Explain the verse, some of those verses, the last few.
The
What does it
last,
mean? Yeah,
the
what's the meaning?
desire of those who fix their mind of me does not lead to material desire for sense gratification. Just as I don't know what barley corns are. Barley corns burned by the sun and then cooked can no longer grow into new sprouts. I don't know what barley corns means,
I
but
don't either.
well, if you desire to be the Lord, to be with the Lord, He will fulfill that. He will not fulfill material desires. He will give you what you want. This was not a desire for sense gratification. They fixed their mind on Him, so that's why He gave Himself to them. No?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm asking you, yeah.
Yeah, and how do you see it then?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. No, that's it. Yeah, it's showing that those who, if your desire is, like your intent is to attain Krishna, even though you may not know who and what Krishna exactly is, but you really want him. See, then the result becomes very soon. He'll lead you into that association of those who have more closeness like that with him. But even if you're farther back, like a lot of people don't know exactly who and what Krishna is, but they fix their minds on a holy name, and they just have to go through, like other things first, get the other desires fulfilled, and then gradually they become closer and closer. See, this is 10th canto, so these are the devotees ready to enter the kingdom, but you see the process. The clothing gets taken off. The clothing represents the false ego. And it's hari means to steal away these things, take them away. And then he gives us this closest. And see, now you've attained you've attained this, you've attained me. So now in the coming nights, you'll enjoy my company. See, now they have realization.
Now your desire is fulfilled,
Yeah. So now that, you know me and you're close with me, your clothing's off. So now, see, that's when you start to have the fun, now, you've got the shelter of the Lord and you're feeling him. You're feeling this transcendental reciprocation. See, now you're enjoying the association. It just goes on. That's where it starts to go deeper and deeper. It's a beautiful, great mystery for most Vaishnavas to this point. It's just like stories mainly, but this is where it's all going, is this kind of intimate relationship. The stories of of Krishna, even in the Bible, everything to do with God it's secret, it's confidential, and these truths are wrapped in symbolism. Actually, everything is, even in the world. The demons, they wrap everything in symbolism. So the Lord also wraps things in symbolism, where the symbols, like you have to be initiated into the like in the world, with amongst the demons, like everything is, they have all these symbols, like in Washington D.C., all kinds of symbology there about esoteric subject things that people, they go and they see it, they don't understand anything. It just looks like, oh, this is a building, this is a piece of architecture, but it was all designed to show something. And then people who know these esoteric secrets, they know what this is. So it's like hiding in plain sight. Well, the Vedas are like that also. And these esoteric teachings are like that also. And that's how they survive, because sometimes people, they don't, if they understand what they are, then people, they try and mess with them or something. They want to. So even the demons, they consider people that don't have the kind of knowledge they have as profane. You think, you don't deserve to understand. Well, that's also like in the subjects of God. People, that's why the acharyas were hiding a lot of stuff, is because you don't just want to throw your pearls before swine and your food before dogs. But, there's a time when the Lord is feeling very merciful, and he'll just start taking risks. Yeah. And that's what we're
their desire is fulfilled, because now he is there with them. But of course, they didn't know they had to go through that. That he would take their clothes off first.
They're just doing the austerities, and they don't know this deeper level of the Lord. So the Lord says, well, this is in the way of them knowing. So he takes it off. And so chanting is like that. And as we chant in association with more and more real devotees, then you start to feel this clothing come off, and then you get this closeness more and more close. And it's great. And this goes on forever. And that's the moral of the story. You could say the teaching of the story is that's the path to this great thing where we get very close with God again, and then we enjoy his association in the coming nights. And the coming nights, it can be that's also symbolic of a lot of stuff. Could be coming nights is we're in the nighttime here. It's no daytime. This Kali Yuga is the night of the Lord. It's dark, and so because we're getting purified, we can enjoy that Lord's company in the coming nights, in these nights, and these are very dark times for people. Are seeing their dark. Before, they didn't think it was dark. Being anywhere in the modes is dark. See? So if you're used to some more light, more freedom and more freedom of movement, more in the mode of goodness, more health and all that, and then the darkness rolls over you. It's just like, but it's all dark to devotees. The devotees are not satisfied. That's why, see, the gopis, they had this desire to attain the Lord. They may not have known exactly who and what the Lord is, but they really wanted him. That's like the people come here. They don't exactly know who and what God is, but a lot of times they're just distraught with the world. They don't like this. They want, the Lord knows their heart, and they send them here for the shelter so that they can get more and more close with God and let go of this clothing, the false ego, these speculations. And you can see the devotees, they have these different types of baggages sometimes, and they're gradually letting them go, and getting closer and closer, so that we can, in these coming nights of Kali Yuga, enjoy the company of the transcendental Lord. See? And that's where real happiness is. And no matter where you are, you could be in hell. Look at Bali Maharaj. He was enjoying the company of the Lord, because the Lord said, don't worry, you're going to hell, but I'm coming with you. It's fantastic. You got God in hell or heaven. Devotees, if you're in heaven and you don't feel that transcendental Lord, you're not happy. Would you be happy in heaven without Krishna?
No, it's not enough.
Not enough. Are you addicted now to the truth?
Oh, yeah. From the 5 years ago already. From the first moment I was addicted to Guru Maharaj. From the first moment, boof. Yeah. It's so attractive. He is so attractive.
Look at the ecstasy he's given you. My God, it's amazing. You're just ecstatic and more ecstatic all the time, Yeah, you shall do. You do better than you got more than I do now. It's great.
No.
No, I'm looking. It's just fantastic. It's amazing, and that's where it's all going. Is this inspiring to see? That to see the devotees. They're. This shows you this is real. It's not just stories. It's not just the ceremonies. Yeah. That's why people give up God after a while, after, when it gets really dry, and just rituals after a while, how long can you manipulate people just to do dry rituals? This is the life of worship. That's why this is forever. The ritualistic worship, it comes and goes. Religions, they come and then people leave it because they're looking. Well, maybe they're looking. People get just crazy. It's a prison. This Maya, people get bewildered in various ways and various things and paths, and for a long time. And then religion ain't strong enough. And that's why it comes and goes. People they lose faith in religion because they're being manipulated and all that. And they go for
all kinds of things.
All
Notice, like if you don't know what the prayers mean, you learn them by heart as a child. How many times all those kids, they say blah, 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 blah. Notice from the moment now those prayers come inside of my head. I get the whole explanation. This is so wow. Now I say, wow, they are so useful. They are so clear. They are so wow. That's how it works. You can't imagine what I get in my head from things that I never understood when I was a kid.
There you go. It reveals all the symbolism.
Yeah. Oh wow.
You get it all. I mean, I understand all the symbolism of whatever I want to know, And the most interesting things are these pastimes because they lead to the highest reality. I mean, God, that's why this will never leave. This is the most attractive of God's opulences. God has opulences in this called Devi Maya, and it's a very opulent place here. That's why people are attracted. It's an attraction, It's like wow, it's marvelous. Everything, nature is marvelous. This is all the Lord's glories. The mystic powers is all the opulences of Devi Dham. But there's faults in it. It's not perfect. It's not meant to be perfect. It's not basically who we are. So. But it's very opulent, very attractive. That's why the Lord's divine energy is very difficult to overcome. But one who surrenders to the Lord, see, like the gopis, they surrendered to the transcendental Lord, and they became attracted out of this. See, this is very high level worship that we're doing here. High level of clarity. This is why these pastimes of the Lord's transcendental pastimes, it's all in the symbolism, it's all in the prayers, it's all in the Bible, it's all in the Vedas. Is bhakti. Because of devotion, it unlocks the treasure house. That's why Jesus came to bring the Holy Spirit to unlock the treasure of worshiping the Lord intimately, starting there. And then Lord Caitanya brought it deeper. It's hard. It's I can't even imagine any incarnation coming and bringing anything more than what the Lord brought. He explained all the Garden of Eden. He explained Vrindavan, what it is and how it's set up, and the full extent of Yoga Maya. So now we just have to enter into this, in which we are, in this path. Yeah. So, gradually people become more and more attracted. Everything, this is our work in the world, purifying this way. People are doing various types of work for God, in different levels and everything. And this is his work, It's great to be involved in Lord Chaitanya's pastimes and his actual work in this world, which are simple, just he considered himself a very simple person. He said, I just have a few fruits and flowers to do this worship. This was his tasting, the nectar in the holy name. The greatest happiness for God and whoever gets that taste. Yeah, the only really practical way is in this kind of association. Who else can show you this example? Yeah.
Thank you so much, Guru Maharaj, for following in the footsteps of Lord Caitanya as the real one, as a real follower, and giving us the opportunity to become a real follower as well. Nobody else is doing that.
Yeah, and we can just continue on with this forever. I mean, there's, this is the greatest attraction, the greatest happiness, the greatest truths. And something so practical for people, because anybody can come and get this and make rapid progress back into the kingdom of God forever. Out of this bewildering illusion. My goodness, this is very crazy stuff going on in this world. Yeah. Okay, so why don't we stop here for a while and we'll be back later. Let's play Fanny's song here. This is dedicated to Fanny and everybody else who likes this song.
He would go out at sunrise, chanting, dancing to his name. Haribo, Haribo. He would wake up everyone, rise and rejoice to the name. Haribo, Haribo. Mukunda Madhava, Govinda Hari, Haribo, Haribo. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he has come to taste and give away the sweetness of his brain. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all you have to do is stay to the sweet chanting of his name. Haribo, Haribo. Every day the sun will rise, and every day the sun will set. Haribo, Haribo. What's the value of your life if devotion you don't get? Haribo, Haribo. Take the name into your heart, take it with you when you part. Haribo, Haribo. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he has come to taste and give away the sweetness of his brain. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Chaitanya, Mahaprabhu. All you have to do is take to the sweet chanting of His name. Haribo, Haribo, Yashamati Nandana, Brajapadanagara. Haribo, Haribo.